smell of old people can vanish 99% by cleaning these 7 hidden areas. Senior health tips. Nana, why do you always smell kind of funny? That one innocent question from her granddaughter hit Helen Turner, now 70, like a lightning bolt. She had always taken pride in keeping herself tidy, showered daily, wore clean clothes, yet somehow her little angel still recoiled when sitting close. The girl no longer climbed into her lap, and when asked for a hug, she'd wrinkle her nose and lean away. That night, Helen curled up under the blanket and cried in silence, her heart heavy with confusion and shame. Here's the truth no one talks about. That old person smell we sometimes notice around seniors isn't caused by poor hygiene. It's not about neglect. It's about biology, how the body changes over time, how skin chemistry shifts, and especially how certain small hidden areas of the body often get missed during normal cleaning routines. The good news? Once you know where those forgotten spots are and how to care for them, the problem becomes surprisingly simple to solve. In this video, we're revealing 7 often overlooked body zones that can cause persistent odors in older adults. And more importantly, how just a few small adjustments in your routine can eliminate up to 99% of the smell without the need for fancy products or harsh scrubbing. You will understand why some seniors may still carry a scent, even if they bathe every day, and how a little awareness can dramatically shift both how you feel and how others feel around you. Stick with us until the end, because the last area we reveal might be the one you're missing right now, and changing that habit could transform your confidence overnight. This isn't about shame. It's about empowerment. It's about knowing your body, honoring it, and giving yourself the comfort and dignity you deserve at every age. If you've ever felt awkward about how you smell, worried about close contact, or quietly wondered if others noticed, this video might be the most uplifting, practical, and freeing one you'll watch all year. Let's dive in. Area number 1, between the toes and the soles, the quiet trouble spot that's easy to miss. Eleanor, an 82-year-old retired teacher from Savannah, Georgia, always took pride in her appearance. Her dresses were pressed, her hair pinned at just right, and her feet, she believed, were just as clean as the rest of her. Until one warm summer afternoon, her young granddaughter wrapped her arms around her legs, then suddenly pulled away and wrinkled her nose. "Grandma, your feet smell weird," the child whispered. The room went quiet, but Eleanor's heart dropped. That night she sat on the edge of her bed, slipped off her socks, and took a closer look and a closer sniff. She was stunned. There it was, that faint sour smell, and it was coming from her. Here's the truth. Foot odor in older adults isn't about being dirty. It's not about neglect. It's about biology and about areas we often skip without realizing it. The skin between your toes and on the soles of your feet contains more than 250,000 sweat glands, more than any other part of your body. That's 250,000 little moisture machines working all day long. Add in closed shoes, tight socks, limited airflow, and age-related skin changes, and suddenly you've created the perfect storm for odor, bacteria, and even fungal infections to brew quietly beneath you. The signs often start subtly. Socks that smell a little off, even after washing. Skin that peels or cracks between the toes. Yellowing or thickened toenails. A mild itch that comes and goes. Many people chalk it up to just getting older, but in reality, these are red flags your body is waving, gently asking for your attention. A 2021 study from the American Geriatrics Institute found that nearly 64% of seniors over 65 have some form of undiagnosed foot fungus. Not because they're unclean, but because they've never been taught to clean this particular area thoroughly. But here's the good news. This is one of the easiest problems to fix. You don't need expensive treatments or complicated routines, just a bit of consistency and care. Start by using warm water and a gentle soap every day. When you wash your feet, take a moment to actually get between the toes, gently scrubbing and removing buildup. After rinsing, pat the entire area dry, especially those hidden spaces. Even the tiniest bit of leftover moisture can become a breeding ground for odor-causing bacteria. If you tend to sweat more or live in a humid area, consider using a non-medicated foot powder or moisture-wicking socks. And never wear the same pair of shoes 2 days in a row. Rotate them to give each pair time to dry and breathe. I once heard a geriatrician say, "Odor doesn't define your worth, but how you treat yourself reflects the value you place on your life." And I couldn't agree more. Because when Eleanor made this small change in her routine, when she started washing and drying her feet with care, the results were almost immediate. The smell disappeared, but something else happened too. She stopped hiding her feet. She started wearing sandals again. And at the next family gathering, when her granddaughter curled up beside her and reached for her lap, Eleanor pulled her in close without hesitation and with a smile full of quiet confidence. So let me ask you, when was the last time you really took a moment to care for your feet, not just out of habit, but out of love for yourself? Have you ever caught a whiff after taking your shoes off and thought, "Oh no, is that me?" You're not alone, and you're not stuck with it. If this story resonates with you, hit that like button to let us know you're still with us. And if you've ever felt unsure about foot odor, comment below. I choose fresh, confident feet every day. Share this video with a friend or loved one who might appreciate the reminder. And don't forget to subscribe to Golden Wise Elders for more heartwarming, practical advice on staying healthy, independent, and proud, no matter your age. Because you deserve to move through life feeling fresh, comfortable, and respected. And sometimes it all starts from the ground up. Area 2. Behind the ears, the overlooked patch that's louder than you think. There's a small, quiet space on your body, barely the size of 2 fingers, that most people never think twice about. It's rarely seen in the mirror, rarely felt throughout the day, and almost never talked about. And yet it might be the loudest silent contributor to that faint, musty odor some people associate with getting older. Let me tell you about Walter. At 79, he was known around his Florida retirement community for his sharp outfits and his signature cologne. Always clean-shaven, always polished. But one afternoon, during a family gathering, his 11-year-old grandson leaned in for a hug, wrinkled his nose, and blurted out, "Grandpa smells kind of weird." Everyone chuckled politely and moved on. Walter didn't. That comment sat with him for weeks. He showered daily, used scented soap, and never skipped his grooming routine. So what was going on? Turns out, it was something so simple it was almost embarrassing. He wasn't washing behind his ears, and he wasn't alone. According to a report published by JAMA Dermatology, the skin behind the ears is one of the dirtiest areas of the body, especially for older adults. Why? Because it's easy to miss, and yet it contains a high concentration of sebaceous glands, which produce natural oils. These oils mix with dead skin cells, sweat, and environmental residue, especially for those who wear glasses or hearing aids. And when left uncleaned, they can create a musty, greasy scent that slowly spreads into your hairline, collar, and even pillowcase. This isn't just about odor. That buildup can also contribute to clogged pores, itchy skin, and even mild skin infections over time. And here's the kicker. Many people who experience this have no idea it's happening until someone close to them points it out, or worse, silently keeps their distance. But here's the uplifting part. It only takes 30 seconds a day to change everything. When you're washing your face or taking a shower, take a moment to gently clean behind each ear with warm water and a mild, non-drying cleanser. Focus on the creases where the ear meets the scalp, especially if you wear glasses or spend time outdoors. After rinsing, pat the area completely dry. And if you use lotion or cologne, apply it after cleaning. Never overbuild up. The difference is not only noticeable, it's refreshing. Still with me? Because this tiny habit could be the one change that transforms how people experience being close to you. Walter tried this for a week, just 1 week. And what changed? Not only did the odd scent vanish, but his grandson hugged him without flinching. Even his barber noticed. "Something smells different," he said. "Cleaner, fresher." There's something empowering about reclaiming the details. As we age, the world often tells us to accept decline, to settle for good enough. But you don't have to. Every small act of care is a quiet form of dignity. You're never too old to glow a little brighter, and sometimes that glow starts in the smallest, quietest places. Area 3, the scalp and hairline, the forgotten frontier of freshness. Most people think they know how to wash their hair. Shampoo, rinse, maybe a little conditioner if the bottle's nearby. Easy, right? But here's a truth most folks don't realize. Clean hair doesn't always mean a clean scalp. And the difference between the two can be the key to whether you smell fresh and feel confident, or quietly wonder if something's off and you can't quite place it. Let me introduce you to Howard, a 68-year-old retiree from Bend, Oregon. He took care of himself, kept a regular haircut schedule, and followed a daily routine he'd had since his 20s. One summer, after taking up walking in the afternoons, he noticed something strange. Even after showering, he'd catch a faint sour scent lingering around his head, especially under his baseball cap or when he hugged someone close. At first, he thought it was the heat, then maybe his shampoo. Finally, his barber told him, "Howard, I think you're just shampooing your hair. You're not really washing your scalp." That moment changed everything. according to Dr. Emma Harris, a geriatric dermatologist with over 30 years of experience working with seniors. As we age, the skin on our scalp becomes less efficient at shedding dead cells and more prone to retaining oils. If you don't actively cleanse the scalp, it becomes a trap for bacteria, sweat, and environmental debris. And that debris, it doesn't just sit quietly, it builds up, it ferments, and it starts to smell, even if your hair looks perfectly clean. Here's another eye-opening fact. Studies published in the International Journal of Trichology show that residue from shampoo, conditioners, and styling products, when not rinsed thoroughly, can mix with natural sebum and create unpleasant odors over time. This is especially true around the hairline, temples, and nape of the neck, where product buildup tends to accumulate. So how do you know if your scalp might be part of the problem? You might notice your hair feels greasy faster than it used to. You may experience mild itching, flaking, or that sticky sensation around the roots even after washing. Some folks notice a faint, greasy smell that gets stronger under hats, headscarves, or wigs. And here's the tricky part. You might not smell it yourself, but those who come close during a haircut, hug, or checkup often do. The solution? Start treating your scalp like the living skin it is, not just a surface for your hair. Use the pads of your fingers, not your nails, to gently massage your scalp in small circular motions while shampooing. Focus on the entire scalp, especially behind the ears, the crown, and the base of your neck. Let the shampoo sit for a minute before rinsing to break down oils and product residue. And rinse thoroughly. Any leftover conditioner or product can lead to more buildup and odor. If you use styling products like mousse, gels, or sprays, make it a habit to clarify your scalp once a week with a gentle exfoliating scalp scrub or a clarifying shampoo designed for mature skin. For those with thinning hair or sensitive skin, look for products labeled fragrance-free and pH balanced to avoid irritation. Still with me? Because this simple shift, treating your scalp like skin, can dramatically change not just how you smell, but how you feel in your own body. When Howard made this change, something surprising happened. He didn't just feel cleaner, he felt sharper, more alert, more at ease. It was as if that small act of care on top of his head made its way all the way down to his confidence. He started walking taller, wearing his favorite hat again, and best of all, he didn't think twice about leaning in for a hug, because let's be honest, confidence isn't always about big things. Sometimes it's about knowing your head smells as fresh as it looks. So let me ask you, when was the last time you really washed your scalp? Not just your hair. Have you ever felt like your shampoo routine wasn't cutting it, but couldn't figure out why? If this section gave you something new to think about, hit like to let us know you're still with us. And if you've ever felt unsure about scalp odor, leave a comment below. From my head to my heart, I choose freshness. Don't forget to share this video with someone who wears hats, uses hair products, or just wants to feel clean and confident again. It's about caring deeply for every part of you. Area 4. Under the breasts and in skin folds. The warm, hidden spaces that deserve more care. This one might feel a little personal, but trust me, it's one of the most important. As we grow older, our bodies change. Skin softens, gravity pulls, folds form. And while none of this is shameful, it does create something we don't talk about nearly enough. Moisture traps, places where heat builds, where sweat lingers, where air doesn't flow. And yes, where odor starts. Take Patricia, 73, from Tallahassee, Florida. She was always elegant. Pearls, linen dresses, the scent of lavender trailing behind her. But during one sticky summer, she noticed something she couldn't quite shake. A sour smell by evening. Even after morning showers, even with her clean clothes and deodorant, the odor returned. She tried new detergent, switched her perfume, replaced her bras. Nothing helped until a nurse at her wellness clinic asked a single gentle question. Do you dry under your breasts after you shower? Patricia paused. She hadn't thought of it. She realized she wasn't truly washing or drying the folds beneath her breasts or along her waistline, just letting water run over them in the shower and hoping that was enough. She's not alone. According to the American Academy of Dermatology, skin folds under the breasts, around the abdomen, under the buttocks, or between thighs are prone to intertrigo, a common condition caused by trapped heat, moisture, and friction. Left uncleaned and damp, these areas become fertile ground for bacteria, yeast, and fungi, all of which produce strong odors and can lead to rash, irritation, or even painful infections. Many older adults suffer in silence, too embarrassed to mention it, mistaking the smell for body odor or just aging. But here's the truth. It's not age. It's airflow and awareness. So what can you do? You don't need harsh soaps or medical creams, just consistent, gentle hygiene. Every day, during your shower, take a soft washcloth with mild, unscented soap and gently cleanse under each breast, along your waistline, and in any other areas where skin touches skin. Afterward, dry completely. Don't rush it. Use a clean towel and pat. Don't rub these areas dry. If you live in a humid climate or are prone to sweating, consider placing cotton pads or a thin, breathable liner under the breast to absorb moisture during the day. Dr. Eleanor Grant, a board-certified geriatrician, shares this advice. Think of skin folds like the corners of your home, easy to overlook, but essential to clean. When they're dry and cared for, you feel lighter, fresher, and more in control. Minnie Hook, surprised? You're not alone. Most people don't talk about this, but it might be the exact thing standing between you and full body comfort. Since making this part of her daily routine, Patricia didn't just smell better. She said she felt better. Her skin was calmer. Her clothes felt fresher. Her evenings more comfortable. But the biggest change, she stopped worrying about how she smelled. And she started hugging longer. Because you deserve to feel comfortable in your own skin, in every part of your skin. So let me ask you, have you ever noticed an odor that seems to return no matter what you do? Could it be coming from one of these quiet, hidden areas? If this sparked an aha moment for you, let us know by hitting like on this video. And if you're ready to give these overlooked spaces the love and care they deserve, drop a comment below. I choose comfort, confidence, and care. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, especially the ones who care for aging loved ones. And don't forget to subscribe to Golden Wise Elders for more insights, stories, and practical wisdom that help you live stronger, fresher, and more confidently, one habit at a time. You've lived a full life. And your skin, every inch of it, deserves to be treated with kindness, dignity, and daily care. Area 5, the underarms, where sweat meets self-confidence. Let's talk about something personal, but very real, your underarms. For many of us, it's the one place we try to keep smelling fresh every day. We apply deodorant, shower regularly, maybe even wear a splash of cologne. But what happens when, despite all that effort, the smell sticks around? Or when you pull off your shirt at night and notice those familiar yellow stains on the fabric, those silent signs that your sweat is doing more than you thought. Patricia, now 72, from Denver, Colorado, faced this exact problem. She was clean, active, and showered daily. Yet every afternoon, she'd notice an odor, sharp, musky, and persistent. She tried switching deodorants. She bought expensive body sprays, but nothing worked. It wasn't until her daughter, a nurse, gently suggested trying a natural exfoliant, like a baking soda scrub, that Patricia discovered something important. Her underarms were clean, but the dead skin cells weren't going anywhere. According to Mayo Clinic, one of the top causes of persistent underarm odor, especially in older adults, is the buildup of dead skin. As we age, cell turnover slows down. The skin doesn't shed as efficiently, and that means more debris stays behind. Sweat mixes with those dead cells and the natural bacteria that live on our skin, creating odors that cling even after we bathe. Think your daily shower is enough? It might be, until you take a closer look at what's actually happening beneath the surface. The armpits are home to apocrine sweat glands, which are larger and more active than most others on your body. These glands don't just release water, they release protein-rich sweat, which bacteria love to feed on. And when that sweat sits in place, especially under tight clothing or with poor airflow, it begins to break down. That's when odor happens. Not because you're dirty, but because your skin's natural cycle is out of rhythm. So what can you do? First, start with gentle exfoliation. You don't need anything harsh. A soft washcloth with warm water and a bit of baking soda, or a natural exfoliating cleanser designed for sensitive skin can make a world of difference. Do this 2 to 3 times a week to help remove buildup and unclog pores. It's not about scrubbing hard, it's about being consistent. Next, consider switching to a fragrance-free, aluminum-free deodorant, especially one with ingredients like tea tree oil, witch hazel, or magnesium, which help neutralize odor naturally without irritating aging skin. If you sweat heavily or live in a warm climate, wearing loose, breathable fabrics like cotton can help your underarms stay dry and airy throughout the day. Dr. Lynn Marcus, a dermatologist specializing in senior skin health, shares, "Your underarms reflect more than hygiene. They reflect how gently you're treating your skin. And when you care for them properly, you often notice a bigger change than just the smell. It's a shift in how you move through the world. That was true for Patricia. After a few weeks of exfoliating and switching to a natural routine, she noticed her shirt stopped yellowing. The odor faded. But most importantly, she stopped feeling self-conscious during hugs, doctor's visits, or close conversations. She said she finally felt fresh, not just clean. So now, I ask you, have you found a deodorant that truly works for your body today? Not the one that worked 30 years ago. When was the last time you gently exfoliated your underarms, not to scrub but to care? If this got you thinking differently about underarm care, give this video a thumbs up. Comment below with, I choose fresh confidence every day. And if you know someone, maybe a partner, a sibling, a caregiver, who might benefit from this insight, share this video with them. Area 6, the belly button, the smallest place with the biggest surprise. It's the center of your body, a tiny little hollow we rarely think about. It doesn't ache, it doesn't sweat like your underarms or itch like your scalp. And yet your belly button might be one of the most overlooked sources of persistent body odor, especially in older adults. Let's go back to Charles, a 74-year-old former school principal from Cincinnati, Ohio. Charles was sharp, well-groomed, and a stickler for routine. He showered daily, wore clean clothes, and kept his home immaculate. But lately something had been bothering him, a faint sour smell that seemed to follow him throughout the day. He washed his underarms, changed his socks, brushed his teeth 3 times a day. Still, it lingered. His wife finally asked him one morning gently, "When's the last time you cleaned your belly button?" That stopped him cold. He hadn't, not in years, maybe even decades. It wasn't something he had ever been told to do. Think you're too clean for this to apply to you? You might be surprised. Your belly button, whether it's an innie or an outie, is a warm, dark, and slightly moist little cave, and like any closed space, when left undisturbed, it gathers things. Sweat, skin flakes, dust, lint, even soap residue that never gets rinsed out properly. According to researchers from North Carolina State University, the human belly button can harbor over 2,300 different species of bacteria, many of which thrive in warm, damp environments, breaking down debris and producing odor as a byproduct. And here's the thing, you might not notice it yourself. The smell builds gradually, subtly, and often gets masked by clothing. But others, especially those who sit close to you, hug you, or help you dress, may notice it immediately. So, how do you know if your belly button is causing odor? Here are a few signs. A faint sour or musty smell that lingers despite daily hygiene. Yellowish or dark buildup inside the navel. Mild itching or irritation, especially on warm days. A sticky or waxy residue when you gently clean the area. The fix? It couldn't be easier. When you bathe, take a few seconds to gently clean your belly button using a soft washcloth, warm water, and a drop of mild soap. For deeper navels, use a cotton swab dampened with warm water or alcohol-free toner. Don't scrub or poke forcefully. This isn't about being aggressive. It's about being thorough. After cleaning, make sure to dry the area completely to prevent moisture buildup. Dr. Sandra Bloom, an internal medicine specialist in Chicago, explains, belly button hygiene is often ignored, yet it's a simple way to prevent odor and even minor infections. I tell my older patients, if you're taking care of your whole body, don't forget the center. Charles took her advice. The first time he gently cleaned his navel, he was shocked by what came out. A mix of lint, dead skin, and what he could only describe as dark paste. But after just a few days of adding this simple habit to his routine, something incredible happened. The smell vanished, and more than that, he felt like he had reclaimed a piece of himself he didn't even know he'd neglected. Because caring for small things has a way of making you feel more whole. So here's your moment of honesty. When's the last time you really cleaned your belly button? Not just rinsed it, but cleaned it. If you're like most people, it's probably been longer than you care to admit. If this section taught you something new, tap that like button to let us know. And if you're ready to give this tiny space the attention it deserves, leave a comment below. I care for my whole self, right down to the center. And please, share this video with someone you care about. You never know who needs this gentle reminder. Don't forget to subscribe to WiseElders for more honest, practical health tips delivered with warmth, respect, and a dash of humor. Because aging doesn't mean neglecting the details, it means honoring them, one small habit at a time. Area 7. The groin and inner thighs. The quiet zone that speaks volumes. We don't often talk about this part of the body. It's private, intimate, even a little awkward to mention. But the truth is, when it comes to body odor, the groin and inner thigh area might be one of the most common and most stubborn sources of lingering smells in older adults. And the hardest part? Most people don't even realize it's happening until it starts affecting their comfort, their movement, and their confidence. Let's talk about Leonard. He's 81, a retired firefighter from Sacramento, California. Leonard is tough, proud, and active. He takes his morning walks religiously, showers every day, and still drives himself to the gym twice a week. But for months, something had been bothering him. In the afternoons, he'd catch a musky, almost sour scent rising from his lower body. He changed his underwear, switched soaps, tried spraying cologne. Nothing helped. He even started skipping the gym, worried someone might notice. It wasn't until his doctor ruled out infections and gently asked about his hygiene routine, specifically around the groin and inner thighs, that Leonard realized he'd been treating this sensitive area like an afterthought. He'd wash it quickly, half-heartedly, then towel off without thinking much more about it. But here's what he learned. This area needs more than a rinse. It needs real care. The groin is packed with apocrine sweat glands, the same type found in your underarms, except more active. It's also a high friction zone, especially where the inner thighs rub against each other while walking. Add in tight underwear, synthetic fabrics, and long periods of sitting, and you've got a recipe for trapped sweat, skin irritation, and yes, odor. Think this doesn't apply to you? If you've ever sat for hours in warm clothes or skipped drying off properly down there, you might want to keep listening. According to the Cleveland Clinic's Department of Geriatrics, one of the most common hygiene mistakes in older adults is incomplete cleaning and drying of the groin area, especially as the skin becomes looser and more sensitive with age. Moisture that lingers in skin folds or tight creases not only causes odor, it can lead to intertrigo, a painful rash, fungal infections, and even urinary or skin issues if left unmanaged. Here's what you can do to protect this delicate area and restore comfort and confidence. During your shower, gently wash the groin and inner thighs with warm water and mild soap. Focus on the creases where your thighs meet your pelvis. After washing, pat the area completely dry using a soft towel. No rubbing, especially if the skin feels irritated. If you're prone to sweating or live in a warm area, apply a talc-free, fragrance-free moisture-absorbing powder or wear breathable cotton underwear to reduce dampness throughout the day. Avoid synthetic fabrics or tight waistbands that trap heat and restrict airflow. And remember, hygiene isn't about scrubbing harder. It's about paying closer attention. Dr. Nina Patel, a senior care physician in San Diego, says it best. The groin may be private, but it plays a very public role in how you move, how you feel, and how others respond to you. When it's clean and cared for, your whole body feels more at ease. That's exactly what Leonard found. Just 2 weeks after making these simple changes, he noticed the odor was gone. But even more than that, he felt more confident at the gym, more relaxed during family visits, and more comfortable in his own skin. He even started wearing lighter pants again, without worry. So let me ask you, when was the last time you gave this important part of your body the time and care it deserves? Have you ever felt discomfort down there and just brushed it off? If this opened your eyes to something important, hit like to let us know you're still with us. And if you're ready to take better care of your groin and inner thighs, comment below. I choose to care for every part of me, no matter how private. Share this video with someone who might need a gentle reminder, especially caregivers or loved ones who support aging adults. So now, here we are. We've traveled across 7 quiet corners of the body together, places that so often go unnoticed, even by those who care deeply about staying clean and healthy. From behind the ears to beneath the breasts, from your feet to your scalp, we've uncovered simple truths, practical habits, and powerful reminders that feeling fresh isn't about being young. It's about being mindful. And if there's one message I hope you carry with you after this video, it's this. Your age does not diminish your right to feel good in your own body. Your skin, your scent, your comfort, they still matter. Not just for the people around you, but for you. You've spent decades showing up for others. Now it's time to show up for yourself. Not with shame, not with guilt, but with small, loving choices that whisper, I still deserve to feel good, to feel whole, to feel me. And don't let anyone, especially that voice in your own head, convince you otherwise. So today, I invite you to choose one habit, just one. Start there. Maybe it's cleaning behind your ears. Maybe it's drying between your toes. Whatever it is, do it not out of fear, but out of respect for the incredible person you still are. If this video made you pause, reflect, or smile, please tap that like button. It lets us know these conversations matter. If you're ready to take better care of yourself or simply want to remind others they're not alone, leave a comment below. I choose to care for my body, fully and kindly. And if someone you love might need this gentle nudge, send this video their way. Let's normalize self-care at every age. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, and stay connected with us here at Golden Wise Elders. Because aging isn't the end of freshness, confidence, or dignity. It's the beginning of a wiser, bolder, and more beautiful chapter. And we're here to walk it with you every step of the way. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing yourself today. And until next time, stay clean, stay proud, stay golden.